Today's adventure brings us to the Buffalo Fire Museum, and we're going to check out an actual cursed artifact known as the Hoodoo Bell. Let's get started. So when it comes to curses in Western New York, the first thing anyone ever thinks about is the sports teams. And that is actually a topic for another video. But right now, we're here and we're gonna check out an actual little known cursed artifact. And it's here at this museum. It's called the Hoodoo Bell. So we're gonna get to that in a moment. But what I wanna do first is actually take you guys through here really quick and show you some of these amazing artifacts. It's actually so cool. So let's go take a quick walk through here and check out some of the things that there is to see. And then we'll get to the Hoodoo Bell. Okay, so a place as amazing as this, it's hard to figure out where to look first. But I'm just gonna take you guys through a quick tour, and I wanna iterate though. It's awesome to just come down here and see these things for yourself. There's nothing like being here and feeling the energy from everything that there is to see here. Everything just seems to have a life of its own. It's also cool, and there's plenty of history. So once again, it's nice to view these videos, but it's also more important to come down here, check the artifacts out, and of course, support the mission that they're doing here. Now, let's just kind of go through and take a look at some of these things that are just incredible. Just so much history here. Now, of course, I don't know a lot about each and every artifact here, so I'm going to go through nice and slowly for you here so you can take it in. I remember going through, the last time I was here years ago, I went through this flip chart, and I recommend doing that because there is just so much to see there and to learn about the history of Western New York. And wow, this is something I'd love to have right in my man cave. This would be so cool. Well, this little thing here just seems to be called the Youngster. Let's see if we can get a close-up, see if we can get some information on this thing. It's a plant fire truck, so maybe it was something that was like exactly what it sounds like in factories and plants or something like that. If there'd be a problem, they'd just be able to roll this little guy out. It's a guess, but let's see here. It was built for the Harrison Radiator Division of General Motors. And yeah, it looks like I was pretty much on point. It was used at the Harrison Radiator plant off Clyde Street in Buffalo. And this stuff is all just awesome. Look at that, a bamboo fire ladder. So I've been around Western New York obviously all my life, and I wonder how many artifacts are here from some of the things that have actually lived through and experienced, sort of at least. You know, North Division Street, and when General Mills had its blowout, all kind of stuff. And you got to take your hats off to the fellows here that respond to these emergencies and help protect us. I mean, God bless them, hats off to them. And a place like this, actually, what it does, it commemorates and memorizes them as well. I know I'm old enough that I've actually had toys like this here. I think I even had something like that guy up there at one point. I wish I could literally talk about every artifact that's in here in depth, because everything in here's got a story of its own. And of course, we honor those that are fallen. Let's go over this way, because There is just a lot of cool stuff here. There's no way I'm not going to take you guys through and see some of this stuff. Again, I would love to be able to just take the time and actually deep dive almost everything here. Now, I do want to mention, typically it's open on, the museum here is open on Saturdays, typically from like 10 to 3-ish. That's the Edward M. Cotter. It's actually docks down there, downtown Buffalo, near Canal Side. This is one of the big things I wanted to share with you guys. Look at these things. Look at these fire trucks. Nowadays, with all the modern fire trucks people see on a daily basis, it's hard to imagine something like this, but this was actually a legit thing. And when there was some kind of a fire or emergency, they would firefighters would actually show up in these guys here. Part of me would have loved to have seen these in action, see them on movies and TV all the time, but there's nothing like, seeing them here in real time. This is an 1893 hand pumper. And look at this thing. This is so cool. One of the big reasons I like coming out to places like this and sharing this with you guys. Again, if you find the time, check the schedule, make sure they're open. Come on down, make a donation. They have a gift shop, and just see this stuff, because there's nothing like actually being here. And now, right around this corner is the reason that I'm here today. This is the Hoodoo Bell. Now, there is a lot of tragedy associated with this artifact. I'm going to get a up close look at it here. We're going to actually read a little bit about it. It's known as Box 29. This is just a photograph of one of the fires here. That the box was like right there. I'm going to read a little bit of this here. It's the history of Firebox 29, otherwise known as the Hoodoo Box. It says Buffalo was a young city in the 1870s. As the city grew, so did its fire alarm telegraph system. In 1875, fire alarm box 29 was installed at the corner of Seneca and Wells Streets. This was a very old and congested area of mercantile buildings and hotels. The large New York Central Railroad depot was on the Exchange Street and went from Wells Street east to past Michigan Avenue. Due to the age of the structures in the area with gas lighting and wood or coal heating, fires in this area were common. On July 18, 1878, firefighter John D. Mitchell of Volunteer Fire Company Columbia House 11 perished when a wall from the Red Jacket Hotel toppled onto him. Box 29 was pulled for this fire. This was the first recorded death as a result of a fire in Box 29's area. On February 2nd, 1889, a police officer on patrol in the Carroll and Wells Street area heard an explosion and saw flames leaping from the Root and Keating building at the corner of Carroll and Wells Streets. He ran to the nearest fire alarm box, which was Box 29. He broke the glass, pulled the handle, and sent in the alarm that would eventually go to a general alarm, calling out nearly all of Buffalo's horse-drawn fire apparatus. This was no stopping this fire. Windows started to shatter in the gigantic Sherman Jewell Stoveworks, one of Buffalo's largest factory buildings at the time. It too was engulfed in flames. 45 minutes after Firebox 29 had been pulled, the Broza House and the Arlington Hotel, two of the city's better-known hotels, had been lost to the flames. One firefighter lost his life, and over 24 buildings were destroyed. In the newspapers of the day, this fire became known as the Grand Seneca Street Fire. So, was Box 29 really jinxed? Those that may have doubted it might have changed their mind when on January 28, 1907, Box 29 was pulled again for a fire in the 8-story brick Columbia Hotel, 101-107 Seneca Street near Wells Street. Within minutes of arriving, firemen found smoke and flames coming from the hotel. Lines were quickly put into operation, and all guests had escaped from the building. Companies were operating lines from the roof of the 2-story building next to the hotel when suddenly bricks started to fall onto them, driving the roof and walls into the basement. Other companies immediately started to dig through the rubble, searching for the trapped men. It took hours to reach the victims, but by that time, 3 firefighters had perished. On a warm September night in 1913, a 4-alarm fire transmitted from Box 29 again burned the rebuilt Bronzo House Hotel, as well as the Bernberger Popcorn and Eureka Coffee Companies. By this time, the box had become known as the Hoodoo Box due to all the tragedies within its area. In 1981, on a cold December night, a fire hit a 4-story brick Seneca Electric Company located at 166 Seneca Street. This fire would go 4 alarms. Box 29 was transmitted again. First arriving companies found the building well involved. A man showed the firemen to the exact spot of the blaze and then vanished into the smoke. Was this the man? Would an arsonist risk arrest by putting himself under such suspicion? After fire investigators checked the building, the deadbolt in the door was locked from the inside, and there was no evidence that the door was forced open. How did the man get inside, and how did he leave? The puzzle was never solved, and the man was never found. In 1978, Box 29 was relocated due to the new off-ramp being constructed on the Elm Oak Artwell that replaced Wells Street. In 1985, the Box 29 and its pedestal were removed from service due to the construction for Pilot Field. The cable feeding the pedestal was lost. The fire alarm system was originally installed in 1866. Therefore, on July 1st, 1991, the system celebrated its 125th anniversary. To commemorate this occasion, Box 29 and its pedestal were reinstalled on Seneca Street near the Elm Street overpass, with a memorial plaque dedicated to the fallen firefighters that had just lost their lives fighting fires in the area. Okay, so something really cool and kind of unexpected. One of the staff members here is actually going to activate the Hoodoo Bell. So let's see how cool this is.
The box will trigger it, but it brings it over here.
That is so beyond cool. So I kind of want to come out and say that the reason that I read almost verbatim from the history sheet on the Hoodoo Bell was because I wanted to actually outline and showcase all the tragedies that were associated with the Hoodoo Bell. Another reason I did that was to make sure I got everything 100% right. And of course, the third reason I did that was to make sure I honored all those who lost their lives in their service responding to tragedies that were associated with the Hoodoo Bell. So that's exactly why I went verbatim, because again, you want to get the facts straight on something like this. So once again, I just want to reiterate that it was really cool to come down here and experience this artifact and the entire museum in real time. There is such history here, and there's definitely a lot of history and tragedy associated with the Hoodoo Bell. And with that, we're out of here. Don't forget to hit that subscription bell so you can be notified when videos drop. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.